Well, the Transport Week is the series of conferences. Today we have been discussing the consequences of the new rules, of SECA rules for the shipping in the Baltic. And of course there will be a big change in the market. We have discussed, for example, the prices of the clean fuel. Probably the prices will be higher. That means that also the transport in the Baltic will be higher. In fact, nobody knows the consequences. But we will have an eye on it, and we try to monitor these consequences for the Baltic maritime transport.
Przede wszystkim chciałbym zaznaczyć, że nie możemy tego zawęzić tylko i wyłącznie do portów na Bałtyku, dlatego że w tej sieci bazowej, transeuropejskiej sieci transportowej mówimy o 95 portach, które są punktami dostępowymi do całej sieci. To są porty na Adriatyku, porty na Morzu Śródziemnym, porty Morza Północnego i porty oczywiście na Bałtyku. Wszystkie traktowane są jako absolutnie kluczowe węzły, jeżeli chodzi o przepływ w szczególności towarów i są przedmiotem naszej szczególnej troski, jeżeli chodzi o przepustowość i ich połączenia z siecią bazową, czyli tą siecią transeuropejską siecią transportową, którą chcemy stworzyć w całej Unii dla potrzeb gospodarki unijnej i jej konkurencyjności do roku 2030.
International negotiations about the low sulfur limit in bunker fuels started in 2006 in the International Maritime Organization. They lasted for 2 years, and basically as of 2008 we already knew what would be the new framework for low sulfur fuels. The European Commission came up with a proposal for directive in 2011. The preparatory work took considerably a lot of time with impact assessment and all the necessary documents that had to accompany that directive. We should not forget that the reason why we go for low sulfur fuels is because of the very negative impacts of sulfur upon human health. I think this should never be forgotten when we discuss about the impacts on maritime transport. What's happened, unfortunately, though, was that in 2008, nobody from the perspective of ship owners, for example, really started to think that the new regime will enter into force in 2015. That is why now, in February or March 2014, we hear that there is only very little time left. I think we all should have started working on that and discussing it much earlier. The moment IMO agreed on the new sulfur limit, we knew it would come into the European legislation, and maybe it's a pity that we haven't sat at the table as early as 2009 to discuss how we are going to approach it.
We are now 10 months before the deadline of implementation of the new sulfur norms here in the Baltic Sea and also in the North Sea. And the important question is now how will these rules be enforced and what kind of monitoring scheme will be implemented. As representing European ship owners that will be active in this area, we have called at the conference here for a fair level playing field. And with fair level playing field we mean first of all that those companies that have investment in either scrubber techniques or compliant fuel, that they of course will not be penalized, so that there will be a proper enforcement system in place.
The P3 Alliance is, when it actually gets approved by the regulatory authorities, it will be a cooperation between Maersk Line, CMA and MSC. And it basically entails that we are gonna share on the major east-west routes. We're gonna share our assets. We're gonna cooperate together, and we will be launching new strings into the market and having increased port coverage. And we're gonna do that by 200 and basically have a vessel pool of 252 vessels, and talking about 28 strings, so 28 services. And we will be having increased coverage and faster transit times, and we're going to do that by launching a couple of new products. And for Far East to Europe, we're going to move from 5 to 8 products, as we have 5 today, 8 in hopefully in the future when it gets approved. In the Mediterranean, Far East Mediterranean, we go from 4 to 5. Then on transatlantic from 2 to 4, and for Mediterranean North America from a transshipment product today to a direct product, 2 direct products in the future. So it's a big cooperation that we are actually are planning for right now.